Don't live stream yet.
I want to leave meeting. Stop it. Okay, Matthew, I think we can kick off.
Awesome. Okay, everybody, welcome. This is the Marketing AMA. I'll be the host. For regular viewers, you'll know me, but I'm Matt Fontana, head of ecosystem at Streamr, and we have Mark Little, who is our CMO. And we had an AMA a while back, maybe in July, when Mark first started. But now we've really had some good mileage with Mark, and he's learnt the ropes. I don't think he can claim to be the new guy anymore. Maybe not. He's one of the newest faces at least, but he's learnt a lot in the last 6 months or so. Really excited to kind of continue to learn from his wisdom and kind of fresh eyes in the Streamr ecosystem. He's been really invaluable, and would love to kind of pick his brains for the next hour or so. We're going to be taking questions from the community, maybe a few questions from our Discord, and live questions as well. So maybe without further ado, Mark, maybe you could have a brief introduction to yourself to kick it off.
Yeah, so thanks for the introduction, Matthew, and thanks for hosting me today. As Matthew said, and for those that not familiar with myself, I'm relatively new to Stream. I think I've been in the project for 4 months now. As Matthew said, I've learned a lot, but still a long way to go. It's a very technical project, as the community members will know. I think today we want to share a number of things in terms of the progress that we've made. There's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes across the various kind of disciplines within marketing, and I think we're making good headway. So just to recap some of the things we talked about in the AMA when I first started, we're very much in a kind of period of test and learn, and we are testing and learning around the key kind of acquisition and awareness channels within the Streamr marketing plan. And just to recap, what I talked about last time was the importance of SEO as an acquisition channel. Influencer marketing is the second kind of big pillar, referral marketing and PR. And we're making good headways on SEO and influencer marketing. And again, I'll talk more about that later when we get into questions. But today I really excited and really want to share the launch of our new referral marketing tool and campaign called Stream Team. So without further ado, I think I'll share my screen and get into that, if that's okay.
Awesome. Yeah, love to hear more about the new referral marketing tool. Yeah, can't wait.
Okay. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hang on. Not letting me share my screen for some reason. Technical problem.
Oh, no.
Oh dear. That is a bit of a shame. Okay.
Just building anticipation.
Let me talk around it instead, which is a bit frustrating because I wanted to talk you through the actual app. But anyway, I can talk around it, so that's no big problem. So just to recap then, Stream Team is a gamified app that we've been building over the last 2 months. And the way it works is community members go into the app, and there's a sign-in process, and you can sign in either via Web 2 Web 2 login or Web 3, so you can connect with your MetaMask. We've also included a Web 2 login just because we know from experience that it reduces friction if we have a Web 2 login. By that I mean a Google SSO. And once you sign in, you'll see a number of introduction screens introducing you to the Stream Team app. And importantly, when you get inside the app, there is a list of actions which are gamified, so that each action you take, you can earn a number of points, and points make prizes, as they say. So the name of the points is data points. And at the end of every month, those data points convert to a data token payout, as well as other prizes as well, based on the number of actions you take. And those other prizes might be along the lines of NFTs. So we're bringing to market for the first time some very exclusive limited edition NFTs, which have additional benefits associated with them for our most active community members. In fact, some of our community members have already received some of those NFTs last week. So yeah, it runs on a monthly cycle, Stream Team. And just to give you an idea of the kind of actions, so they range from very simple things such as follow the Streamr project or follow team members on social media channels such as Twitter or LinkedIn, to much more kind of more complex actions, which might be content creation, might be create a YouTube video, create a Medium blog or something like that. And what we're doing is we're giving everyone an opportunity to earn more data tokens, and of course to stake them on nodes and to earn passive income. And the idea is that by working together, we can all get through the bear market together, and at the same time grow the Streamr community. And we're expecting quite explosive growth actually off the back of this. So as I talked to my last AMA, I have some experience in this. I've done this in my previous startup and on other projects as well. So we're quite excited. And yeah, it's a pure play referral marketing mechanic. And it's exciting because it will drive our awareness, and it'll step change the size of our community. So just a really important point to make is in the first couple of months, we're kind of going at this with a kind of a soft launch, but we, again, we're testing and learning around it, a little bit cautious. But just a point to make to existing community members is, at the moment, the community in Discord is made up of very, heavy expertise and within the Streamr project and quite strong technical expertise. But really what we're trying to do here, or part of what we're trying to do here, is democratize the Streamr community and bring in more kind of crypto enthusiasts who might not be so technical in nature, might be more mainstream, but by definition that's one of the marketing objectives that we're trying to achieve. It's one of two big marketing objectives, is really just to explode awareness of the Streamr project, because I think we all know in the community and the core team that it's a little bit undervalued at the moment. It's a bit, the awareness isn't there. So that's what we're trying to achieve with this. So yeah, what a shame I couldn't share my screen. Anyhow, if you want to have a look at it whilst we're doing this AMA session, go to the Streamr profile on Twitter, and you'll see the link to it. But I'll read it out. The URL is friends, friends.streamr.network. So just go to the URL now and you can sign up and you can get started and earn some more data tokens.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. I'm in a privileged position to have already seen it, and I'm really excited to kind of get it into the wild, get those kind of first feedback data points and kind of grow it with the community. So yeah, this is for the community, and we want to sort of build it with you guys as well, and really give back in a way that will grow the community, like Mark says, in a kind of step change fashion, because we haven't really done anything like this at the scale that we intend to make this happen. So yeah, very, very exciting stuff. Mark, are you ready for some questions?
I certainly am, yeah.
Okay. We have some questions from our Discord to begin with, and then we'll move on to some more hot and live questions. To begin with, we have from Renderer. He asks, what will be our main targets for upcoming marketing strategies?
Yeah, okay. So yeah, great question from Renderer, thank you. So just to recap a little bit, again, we talked about this when I first started, and I've just kind of hinted at this quite strongly, but the sort of main marketing objective is about driving awareness of the Streamr project, amongst what we call internally as token speculators, but another terminology for them would be crypto enthusiasts. So as I've just explained, on it, we're generalizing now, but they're more mainstream, less technical than the typical Streamr community member. And we want to drive rapid awareness of the Streamr brand. The reason for that is because the way that we look at things at the moment is in terms of market cap of the Streamr project versus, say, our peer set. So currently we're around about 550. Obviously, of all projects, we're ranked 550, and that kind of changes as the weeks go by. We kind of hover around that level. Conversely, we see some of the other kind of projects that I refer to as kind of tier 1 Web3 infrastructure projects. They range anywhere between top 50 to top 200. So we very much want to get Streamr to become a top 200 project ahead of the next bull run. And yeah, that's our internal marketing objective. And the fastest way that we can do that is to really drive rapid awareness. Hence, we're really now pushing these different acquisition channels, which, just to recap again, are SEO, referral marketing, influencer marketing in Twitter and YouTube, and PR being the other one. So yeah, we're testing and learning all of those channels now. We're still in that process ahead of 2023, where we're going to be looking to invest more in those channels to really accelerate growth and awareness of the project. So that's kind of your pure play macro marketing objective and target market, is these mainstream crypto enthusiasts. There's a second target market which is just crucial for Streamr as a Web3 infrastructure protocol, and that is what we refer to as grassroots Web3 developers. And myself and Matthew and some members of the Data Union DAO team were lucky enough to go to Colombia recently for DevCon, which is arguably the biggest crypto conference annually. And before that, there was the ETH Bogota hackathon, which Streamr and Data Union DAO participated in, actually. And for me anyway, that was a really eye-opening experience, because it's the first time that I'd seen these grassroots Web3 developers using Web3 infrastructure protocols and dApps, and building on them and building fantastic products and features. And yeah, we have a job to be done there in terms of really cementing Streamr as the go-to protocol for real-time data sharing amongst those up-and-coming Web3 developers. It's a very small group. There's only, I think I'm right in saying, 20 to 30,000 of these developers globally. So yeah, we're working hard now and really focusing on that, and it means working directly with them. And we do that in a number of ways. What's called dev relations is very, very important, and hackathons and those kind of activities, and building relationships with these developers at a grassroots level. And what that does is, by being part of that ecosystem, it encourages cross-pollination between protocols and dApps, so that Streamr is used in conjunction with other protocols as products are being built. So this is very much a grassroots thing, and it's kind of halfway between marketing and business development and partnerships, but yeah, that's how we view it. So just to recap, we've kind of got this mainstream sort of mass audience that we're going after, and then we've got the kind of developer audience as well, which is equally as important. Okay, that makes sense. And I guess the grassroots movement kind of feeds into the mainstream narrative as well. So they both kind of work with each other. Absolutely, yeah. But it's kind of the case, if it's not one or the other, you have to do both in order to be successful. So yeah, that's right. Second question from Renderer is, what kind of plans do we have for marketing on enterprise levels? Yeah, so yeah, and I think there was a question after that, which I saw on Discord, which is how will our marketing attract enterprises? So, and I think the question was aimed at kind of Streamr being used in the Web 2 world. And this is an interesting question, because since I started at Streamr, we've been having this discussion internally a lot, and I think we're a better place in terms of our thinking around it. And that is, Streamr has experimented with working with enterprises and Web 2 platforms historically. And Matthew, you know this better than I do. But as soon as we go into Web 2 world, it's often our message falls on deaf ears, and that what we're talking about is actually quite complicated to a non-crypto native and quite difficult for them to adopt. And so the friction there in terms of marketing and business development and partnerships is quite high. So what we've been talking about in the last couple of months is the importance of really cementing Streamr as Web3 infrastructure. So you're going to see a new website come in 2 stages over the course of the next 6 weeks, I think. And you'll see that we have new messaging for Streamr very much as this kind of core Web3 infrastructure for real-time data sharing. And I think we've got a bit more focused in terms of some of our Twitter communications in recent months around that. But the reason for that is because we've got to nail it within Web3 first and foremost. That's where partnerships and business development is key. So that as the decentralized Web3 is built, Streamr is the go-to protocol for the use cases that Streamr offers. And we're confident that it's right to be very, very focused on that. The reason being is that we're a limited resource team, but we need to build a strong core is the other part of it. So we know that our core is about being the future infrastructure of Web3. So that's what we're really going after. And they're the partnerships that we're kind of developing. Lots of discussions around that, and you're going to see more of that towards the end of the year and into 2023. So I hope that answered that question for Renderer.
Yeah, I think so. And it's kind of how I see the situation as well. And I think you articulated it well, that while we warmly welcome enterprise adoption, it is the high friction path. And so with limited resources, we have to choose our focus quite tactfully.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. And the last question from Renderer is, will there be a party for celebrating something in 2023?
I like this question. I like a good party. I'm not in charge of party organising, unfortunately. I wish I was. But yeah, I think if we can get to our objectives at the end of 2023, there will be some sort of virtual party. We'll have to do it. So yeah, I don't know, Matthew, you've been to a few Streamr parties over the years. What was the highlight for you? I think there was a party on a boat in Tokyo, wasn't there, at one point? Or?
Yeah, there was. I actually wasn't there on that party, so I just got to see the video of people having fun, which was like almost being there. But that was a peer-to-peer boat ride at the DevCon in Osaka. And that was for an earlier milestone in the project. So as we come up to the Tatum milestone, which is arguably the biggest milestone of the project, maybe we should have a bigger party, but let's see.
Good suggestion, like it. I'm in. Okay.
Cool. All right. If you're ready, we'll move on to some questions from Bonjovo. And he asks, Stream Team is the new data pack? That's the question. Is Stream Team the new data pack? And will there be new community NFTs?
Yeah. So yes is the short answer. Stream Team is the new kind of data pack. And there was a long thread in the Discord about how do we kind of brand our community. And previously there was the kind of the Wolfpack direction. We had a lot of discussions internally about that as well. We've built this Stream Team referral app. Personally, I'm less concerned about what all the kind of names and around the data pack is. If we see the growth, and really is the important part is the referral marketing mechanic. And we just wanted to get started with this kind of spaceman theme, actually. If the community is not such a fan of it, we can evolve it over time, no problem. If we want to go back to Wolfpack, then so be it. But really the important bit is the growth that will come. So I hope the community like the kind of visual aspects of the referral marketing app. And I hope that builds into something, as kind of like a community visual identity with time. But I think naturally it will evolve with time. So yeah, it's kind of an evolution of the Wolfpack, and yeah, let's see how it builds out from here. As I said, I think it will be a slightly slow start from experience. It's going to take 4 to 8 weeks for the growth to start coming, but I'm highly confident it will come. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Okay, Stream Team, it is. Great. Next question from Bon Jovi is attracting VCs, venture capitalists, part of marketing?
Short answer, not really. So VCs is, speaking to VCs, there's a particular process for that. And there's kind of a separate work stream internally. I don't think there are any serious considerations around that for Streamr right now, although I know there was a SIP discussion around that. I'm not up to speed on the latest in terms of the fundraising side of things with VCs, but yeah, it's not really part of the marketing. Like, our marketing is getting increasingly focused around those two objectives. One is democratizing amongst the crypto enthusiast, and the other is about, DevRel and building relationships within the grassroots Web3 dev community. Yeah, I mean, I've raised a lot of money for startups historically, and there's the VC side of things is more kind of, I'd say, on the business development side. So yeah, that's how we think about that.
Okay, fantastic. And the last question from Bon Jovo, bit of a pointy one for you, Mark. Will past activities also be taken into account in the Stream Team concept? Like 5 years of ongoing support weighing more than 1 week of new activity from members.
Yeah. Okay. Point landed, Bon Jovo. So firstly, for those of you that are new to Streamr, Bon Jovo is an extremely active community member, not only in Discord, but Twitter and other social media channels as well. So Bon Jovo, thanks for all your hard work over the years. And obviously it's been here long before I was here. The short answer is I hadn't really thought of that in building Stream Team. But we look at and follow very closely who are the active community members, and the really active community members certainly will be rewarded with NFTs if they haven't been already. I think Bon Jovo might have been rewarded with one. And those Spaceman NFTs, they get you access to various benefits, which we'll build out over time. We'll add to that list of benefits. But just as an example, Bon Jovi will get access to beta testing for the chat app when that comes through ahead of anyone else. Dare I say, any airdrops that we do in the future, access to pre-sale lists for future token generation events. We don't have anything concrete in that area at the moment, so I'm not going to ad lib on that, but certainly there are discussions that are happening internally with our kind of innovation pipeline. And there'll be other benefits from holding those NFTs as well. So at the moment, that's the best that I can offer. But yeah, point noted, especially with regards to Bon Jovo, who's extremely active, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So yeah, absolutely.
So his Christmas stocking will be full this year. Is that the read?
So, yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to another active community member, Agnolo Giotti. He asks, is there a list of projects building on Streamr and their Twitter handles? It'd be nice to follow them all on Twitter and show our support by liking and retweeting their tweets.
So the short answer is no, there isn't a list at the moment, but I think it's a really good suggestion, and absolutely we should do it. So we have a list of projects internally. I think we need to publish those in some capacity, along with their social media handles. A couple of comments to build on that. One is, obviously, we do speak to the other marketing teams of projects that are building on Streamr or with Streamr. Where we can, we do little collaborations, and we're planning to do larger sort of partnerships and collaborations going forwards. You're going to see more of that in 2023. Especially as we start to partner with what I call tier 1 projects, which is a big thing that we've been focusing on internally. Matthew's been pushing really hard on this front, as have I, as have Henry. And yeah, we're going to start seeing some headway in that area in the coming 3 to 6 months. And from a marketing perspective, we'll be partnering with those projects more and more. I think the second thing to say is that this kind of thing, whereby the community can engage and post, engage and leave comments and retweet, in social media channels, Twitter, LinkedIn, and what have you. This is the point of the referral marketing app. Actually, we're incentivizing existing community members and new community members to do exactly that. So yeah, this is a great suggestion, and we're going to do it, and we're going to do more of it as we cement Streamr as core Web3 infrastructure protocol that it is.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's a good question. Next one is from, it's a tough one to say, Benjamin Franklin. Intentional typo, I think, in there. But he asks some marketing to expand in the USA and maybe create some USA marketing material, develop the team there. Yeah, so generally kind of pushing Streamr in the USA, in the States. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, absolutely. USA is a super important market. We haven't been as active there as we've wanted to be. So what are we doing about it? We're about to start testing influencer marketing in YouTube against the objective, the first objective I talked about, which is about driving awareness amongst kind of crypto enthusiasts. And we'll be running a couple of influencer YouTube videos from USA-based influencers across the rest of the year. So there's that side of things. The other side of things is the referral marketing app will definitely expand awareness in the USA. So having built and used that before, it works globally, and we tend to get community users from every country in the world. I'd be very surprised if we don't drive our presence in the USA. One thing I'd say is, with regards to influencer marketing, some of you might have seen the Kim Kardashian announcement with the SEC. For those not familiar, SEC have kind of clamped down on Kim Kardashian and used her as a kind of signpost to the rest of the influencer marketing industry. I mean, I think she is the largest influencer in the world, but she promoted a project called ETH Max, which is, I'm not familiar with ETH Max, but it was almost certainly a shitcoin, excuse my language. And if you look at the token price, obviously there's a lot of retail investors that got hurt off the back of that. So the SEC are very on this now, and I know, having spoken to influencers in the industry recently, that everyone's getting a bit jittery about it. Streamr takes a very risk-averse approach to that, and there's been a number of conversations with our lawyers about how to do influencer marketing going forwards, especially in the USA. So that's a challenge. The USA is always more regulated than every other region, although data token isn't a security, so that plays in our favor. But yeah, definitely we're going to boost our presence in the US in the coming 6 to 12 months. It's crucial. Will we put a team out there? I don't think we're in a place to resource a team out there. That would be very expensive, but I don't think we need to from a marketing perspective anyway. I think we can deliver on our marketing objectives and jobs to be done without that. So yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, and kind of historically, our community has sort of been started in Europe, and I think that's where the longer serving members have historically come from. But you know, let's bring America into the party. You know, the rest of the world. I think there's huge opportunity there to really grow and expand our community in those corners of the globe. Moving on to question from Remy, another long-serving member of our community. He asks, should projects who build on Streamr show more clearly that Streamr is their network supplier, for example, made on Streamr?
Yeah, so again, this is something that we have discussed internally, and yeah, we ask projects that we work with or who build on Streamr to do logo shares. So in the new website, you're going to see loud and proud, kind of just beneath the fold, the projects that are working with Streamr to drive that from our side. In return, we're speaking to those projects and we ask them to do logo shares on their website for what that's worth. So yeah, I think yeah, that makes sense. We need to find a way to really incentivize those other projects to really shout about it loud and proud that they're built on Streamr. So I think that's what Remy's getting at. don't have any magic answers around that right now, but yeah, I mean, we push partner projects as much as we can to try and do that, but yeah, we need some sort of mechanism for that. So if anyone in the community's got any really bright ideas around that, then I'd love to hear about it in the Discord marketing channel. Would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the idea has come up in some form or another in the past as well, and it's a good idea. Perhaps one sort of approach or interesting new component that comes to the table in the Brubeck era, excuse me, in this decentralized network, is that these streams are kind of public in nature, where the data can flow privately encrypted, but the streams themselves, how many nodes are participating in the streams, the size of the stream topologies, and so on. This is visible on the Network Explorer on the Streamr.network website. So Swash is still busy doing the integration towards the Brubeck network, but once they complete that integration, you'll be able to, type in Swash into the Network Explorer, and you should see like a massive browser extension network of all their live users. So I think that will be like shareable. The same thing will happen with Demo, Redstone, a lot of these up and coming projects that are kind of just getting traction now, or rather have already got traction, but are kind of lighting up on the Streamr network. These sorts of visuals and this new way of showing how the data is flowing across their networks, I think will be quite a powerful visual story that could kind of feed into the marketing narrative. Yeah,
absolutely. And also that visual representation, we can build that into our referral marketing efforts, which essentially is a new distribution tool to get our community to post content out there. So if we prepare that in the right manner, then because some of the dApps that are being built on top of Streamr are growing so fast now, like Swash, I think is up to 400,000 or 500,000 users. So they've obviously done a fantastic job in terms of their referral marketing efforts. We've got one eye on that, but they're building their own community, which is a separate community from Streamr, which is more kind of technical and a kind of the protocol level, and the Swash community is much more kind of B2C, D2C marketing. So it's a different persona. But I think as those communities grow with Demo, Unbanks, which are now small, but I think Unbanks are going to be very, very big, we can bring those community members into Streamr as well, so they can understand what's happening at a protocol level. So yeah, I think also the takeout from Colombia, and Matthew, we talked about this, is there's these emerging kind of ecosystems of which Streamr is part of several. And there's this tip-in thing. Matthew, remind me what tip-in stands for. It's Tokenized Incentive Program.
Physical something networks.
Yeah. Okay, so
proof of the physical.
Yeah, it's a pretty rubbish name. I think we both agreed on that. Am I allowed to say that? But anyway, the tip-in networks are all kind of things like Demo, things like Swash, of which Streamr is part of that ecosystem, and that passive income thing is growing very, very fast. And Data Union does part of that as well, obviously. So yeah, I think it's all about. I mean, all of us are in this together, and we're building these communities together, and there's massive overlap. So I think it all helps with this kind of democratization of Streamr awareness. So yeah.
Absolutely. Are you ready for some YouTube live questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so Theo writes in, he is loving the AMA so far, of course. Thank you, Theo. How many nodes are we planning to see, or hoping to see rather, on the network by the end of 2023, Mark?
Ooh, good question. Thanks, Theo. So we don't have a fixed plan on the node growth. So we internally refer to node growth as the supply side. And the reason we don't have a fixed plan really is because it's growing very fast, and we don't, it's not a challenge. It's not a marketing challenge. It sounds a little bit arrogant and complacent maybe, but in the short time that I've started being at Streamr, it's grown from, I think, 3,500 to 5,000 nodes. So another 50%, let's say. in 3 months. And the reason for that is because on the first of every month, such as today, node runners get their token rewards, and then many of them have maxed out the data tokens staked on an individual node. So they take their node rewards and they set up another node to stake more data tokens, to stake their rewards. And in doing so, they compound their returns. So the node growth is happening kind of organically. There's a couple of other reasons as well. So I think those that are active in the community will know that Theo's from Zenaris project, and Zenaris is, Theo will say this isn't the best way to describe it. It's kind of like a Web 2 solution for running Web 3 nodes for those that are less technically capable. So you don't have to set up a Streamr node yourself. Zenaris do it on your behalf and you pay a subscription fee. That project's almost certainly going to grow quite fast over the coming kind of 6 to 12 months. And so that will help with the growth rate of nodes and further secure the network. And we've been very active in Twitter in the last 2 months, and we've tapped into the kind of the Flux community side of things. And we've had a few conversations with Flux as well, interestingly, so that's in the pipeline. So yeah, I think internally we're quietly confident that node growth will continue. If it continues at this rate, then we'll be at kind of 20,000 nodes by the end of 2023. I picked that number out of thin air, by the way, but that feels about right. So yeah, the network is alive and kicking, decentralized and very secure. So I think we're very happy on the supply side of the network. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I would echo that optimism, and yeah, I think there'll be quite an uptick in the node count in 2023. And a different question, this time from Ben. He asks, do you have any plans to partner with a decentralized communication network such as Flux for hosting nodes? Yes, there are a number of conversations going on. I don't want to be too committal here because they're conversations, although some of them are quite advanced. So again, the short answer is yes, very much so, and it'll contribute to node growth as well. I think, yeah, when those partnerships do start coming through, and they do take a bit of time, so we've really put our foot down on them, since I joined the team, and as I was saying, Matthew and Henry have really been pushing hard on that side as well. These partnership deals, they do take a bit of time to get to market, but what we need to do from the marketing side is activate against them more effectively and make a bigger splash about it in the market. And, going back to what I said at the very beginning of this call is we look at it like we're market cap number 550 or 600 or 500, whatever it is. And we're kind of tier 2, tier 3. What we need to do is partner with, the bigger projects so that we get that kind of piggyback effect. And, when we do, and then make sure we market against it properly so that it helps drive brand awareness and project awareness. So that's what we're trying to do. Absolutely. New question that's come in from Fabinacci, I think is the correct pronunciation. So he asks, can you briefly touch on some changes that come with Tatum and what's coming after Tatum, updated roadmap for 2023 Q2 to Q4? Yeah, well, I'm gonna push this back on you, Matthew, because you're much better answering this than me. But I think from a marketing side of things, and Fabinacci's is into node running and APY and passive income. Fabinacci and I follow each other on Twitter. So hi Fabinacci, thanks for your support on Twitter. So from a node running perspective, the big thing about Tatum is delegation. So if you don't want to run a node, but you're sitting on data tokens, you can simply delegate those to a broker node, and the broker node will stake those tokens on your behalf, and then there's a split of the APY in return. So that is really interesting from a democratization perspective, from making Streamr more accessible to non-technical crypto enthusiasts. It's easier then for them to get involved. It's easier for them to, stake tokens, get an APY through this kind of delegation process. That's a big part of Tatum. And then there's the introduction of bounty contracts as well. So I could explain this, but Matthew always does a much better job. So I'm going to bat that back to you, if that's okay.
Sure. So what changes with Tatum is that instead of distributing rewards at the start of each month, this will happen automatically through smart contracts, through these bounty smart contracts. So we're going to decentralize the reward mechanisms, and that'll be quite powerful construct in itself, because if you think about it, it'll be sort of incentivizing broker nodes to automatically join streams in a totally trustless way. So you can kind of press a button and an entire network will spawn and kind of support your data pipeline. And it's going to give your data pipeline a lot of new properties. And I think it'll be powerful to see, like just from a geeky perspective to begin with. I think it'll be quite an impressive innovation in the space. So, a lot of we've talked a lot about, the top 500 tokens, and where, sitting around that area. A lot of them are, DeFi token swapping, farming tokens that don't do much. So what we've seen in the hackathons is that, developers really light up when they understand what Streamr is doing, its mission, and how we're going about it. We're solving the problem in a very serious and methodical way, and I think that instantly resonates with the smartest people in the room. So I guess, like, the Tatum milestone will bring the final milestone of the project, and the second part of the question was what comes after the final milestone of the project. I will leave that to Henry to share at a later date. I think it's maybe not my place at the moment, but of course we do have plans, and we'll be excited to share them when the time is right. So hopefully I've sort of answered that question enough for now, at least, and we can move on to the next question from Shari. He asks, do you consider any other chains beside Polygon, and any upcoming news about data unions?
Yeah, Matthew, again, I think that the chain question maybe better answered from yourself. That's fair. So we are currently, the Stream registry is on Polygon, and we offer data product and data union creation on both Gnosis chain, formerly XDAI, and the Polygon chain as well. So do we have future plans for other chains? Yes, we do. Other EVM compatible chains are, quite in focus for us at the moment. And that is probably quite a predictable extension of our ecosystem. And nothing totally firm on that yet, but it's quite easy for us to venture out into these other EVM compatible chains. Maybe non-EVM at some future date, but we haven't kind of crossed that bridge yet, no pun intended. And that's totally possible though, because the network itself is chain agnostic. We've just kind of put all our eggs into the EVM sort of compatibility, and I think that has continued to be the right move. But it doesn't disqualify us from offering the network to other chains as well. And in terms of any upcoming news with data unions, I think neither of us are the right folks to ask. We are the Data Union DAO project is very active and working hard. And I think you should follow their Discord and their Twitter for announcements on that front as well. Yeah, just to comment on Data Union DAO though, we went to Columbia and DevCon with the Data Union DAO team, and we were part of the hackathon, and it was really encouraging to see those hacker teams building on Data Union DAO. And there were a number of very interesting projects that were built. But furthermore, I think the proof in the pudding is the rapid growth of Swash, and also Demo as well is I think is going to explode next year, is my belief. And there are lots of other data unions coming through. I think you mentioned Unbanks earlier as well, also built in the Data Union DAO framework. So there's some real proof points there in terms of the construct around data unions and the need for the Data Union DAO framework. So I know the team are very excited, but I think we're all excited internally. So yeah, it's getting good momentum.
Absolutely. So there's a gap in the questions that I'm going to slide myself into, because I have a few questions of my own that I think.
How it does.
Yeah. So the tables have turned, and no, I think they should be okay. But maybe one kind of.
Matthew, I've lost you on the sound. Is that you or me?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, it says my internet connection is useless. So
Okay.
yeah, hopefully you can still hear me. My question is, so when you speak about how marketing is different for Streamr than say a Swash, like why does not the same marketing approach work for Swash? Why can't we copy and paste what's working for Swash with Streamr?
Well, we're keeping one eye on what Swash are doing, and what they're doing is fantastic, and the results show that. And the mechanics they're using have been tried and tested by other kind of startups, Web 2 and Web 3, and actually we're doing something very similar with Stream Team. So there are certain mechanics and campaigns that the work for both projects. But I think the inherent difference between Swash and Streamr is that Swash is a pure play B2C or direct to consumer proposition, in that it's about your surfing behavior on a browser. And that's very easy for everyone, whether technical or a non-technical crypto enthusiast, to buy into the concept and to use it. And I signed up to Swash about 6 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and I made a comment on Twitter to the Swash team saying, congratulations, the onboarding was flawless. And it really is. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to onboard, and front and center in the menu tab on the left hand side is the referral marketing mechanics. So what I love about that is, when product marketing works best is when the marketing is built into the product. And that's when you see explosive growth. I've seen that time and time again on startups that I've worked on over the years, and Swash are nailing it for that reason. But because they have a D2C, direct to consumer proposition, those kind of mechanics work very, very well. With Streamr, it's a little bit more complicated in that Streamr is a very technical, extremely technical product and project, and it's a protocol with the core user of that protocol is grassroots Web3 developers, not mainstream crypto enthusiasts. And so, getting adoption of that there's a whole lot more friction there in terms of getting adoption and usage of the protocol. So it's in that tricky area between kind of marketing and business development and partnerships and working with developers and dev relations and dev advocates. And it's about making sure all of those people know what the use cases are. It's about making sure all of those people have the right documentation. So there's so much more friction there. That said, Streamr has, as we talked about in this call, 2 marketing tools we've done. One is win at that level with the core user of the protocol, but then also drive awareness amongst the crypto enthusiasts. But it's not as clear cut as, say, Streamr. I'm not saying what Streamr, it's not as clear cut as, say, Swash. I'm not saying what Swash have to do is easy. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that. But that's the difference in terms of the model. They're selling a consumer-facing dApp, whereas we're marketing a a highly technical protocol.
Yeah, exactly. I think I needed to hear that as well. Like it is a different beast, and it's like it takes someone with real marketing experience to kind of see the difference and tailor the approach to the case. So yeah, great that you could share that with the broader community as well.
Yeah, and I think just to build on that, one of the challenges that we have internally and with the community is about the fact that we need to do both. We can't do one or the other. And here's a classic example, right? Look at our website today. It's a fantastic website, but it's very formal, it's very technical, and it doesn't do the job of democratizing Streamr to a crypto enthusiast with limited technical knowledge coming in. Whereas in the new version of the website, you're going to see we've refreshed it entirely. There's two stages. The first stage is kind of an update of above the fold and a few other changes, but stage 2, which will come at the end of the year, is a leap forward in that as anybody coming into the site will see, it's kind of split by personas. So there's 3 different personas in the Streamr ecosystem: builders and devs, crypto enthusiasts or token speculators, and then node runners. And so what we're doing is we're taking each persona on a journey and segmenting the website accordingly. And so this is just one example of many touch points whereby we have to take those different personas on different journeys. But we have to try and do all of these things with limited resources. So there's a limited number of people in the team across marketing, across DevRel, across ecosystem, which is Matthew's department, across the dev team as well. So there's a restraint in terms of developer resource, because all of those departments are calling out for developer resource with different priorities against those different objectives. So yeah, it's a question of I think sometimes community get a little bit frustrated about the slow pace, but I can reassure there's a lot happening, and the pace is going to pick up as we go through next year and we pick up momentum. But the reason that sometimes it comes across as quite slow is because there's so much to be done with a limited resource, and we have to do both of those things. We have to win at grassroots level with developers to cement Streamr as Web3 infrastructure that it is, and to get usage of the protocol. And we're making progress in that area, but we also have to do the main marketing bit. So yeah, I hope that helps explain some of the internal challenges we have.
Yeah, absolutely. At least for me, it's very, very nice to hear that kind of balanced observation of the challenge ahead. Like you say, we have these personas. We can't put all our eggs in one persona. That's just going to be a mess. We need to, especially with the website, like you say, identify the persona and take them on their journey as fast as possible. And kind of, that's also like a very typical UX rule inside of apps. Once you're aware of 2 very distinct personas, you really want to kind of funnel them off into their own personalized track as soon as possible. So yeah, I'm very excited to see the next iteration of the website that really really takes care of that specifically.
Yeah, just one final point, if I may, Matthew, is that
yeah.
In our evolution as a marketing function within Streamr and the DevRel function, we're very focused on becoming data-driven. And previously, we weren't data-driven as a function at all. And now, everything that we do and everything we try to do, we try to set up tracking and we try to analyze the data as much as possible. Now, that always takes time to instill that as a culture, but also to set it up from a technical perspective. And by the way, one of the things I haven't talked about is Lasse joining the team. So let me just touch on that very quickly. But Lasse, welcome to the team. Some of you have picked up. Lasse's a community member of Streamr, an extremely talented growth and technical marketer. So it's fantastic that he's joined. One of the things Lasse is leading on is helping us become a data-driven marketing function. And That's really important for obvious reasons, but I think the less obvious reason is that, the way that we work within marketing in order to win over time is through this agile process, which is iterative in nature, meaning that we test and learn something. If it doesn't work, we move on and we don't do it again. If it does work and we see a little bit of growth, we try and find out where that growth came from and why, i.e. follow the data and then do it bigger and better the next time. So we're now doing that across all of our acquisition channels within marketing. So that's influencer marketing, it's referral marketing, it's SEO. We're doing it in our retention channels, which is kind of on the email side, and you're about to start seeing, campaigns around emails come out and CRM. And we're doing that increasingly on the DevRel side of things as well. So it's a huge amount of work for a relatively small team, but all of this is happening behind the scenes. So we're putting really strong foundations in place, and it is going to manifest itself in terms of growth in 2023, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I think we have time for a few last questions. Fibonacci has some extra ones. So he mentions that NFTs as rewards in the, you mentioned NFTs as rewards in the Stream Team medium. What kind of NFTs will they be?
So visually speaking, they're images of spacemen, which interestingly were created by a generative AI tool called DALL-E, which I'm sure many people on the call have heard of DALL-E. So these NFTs come from a project called Ataka, which was funded by an EU grant. So we had this project kind of working in the background, and we've taken that project and executed it in the Stream Team app. They're actually technically called non-rival NFTs. And the reason for that is because you will see those NFTs on an app called Torco.io. We'll share the URL for that later. Well, you'll see it soon anyway. You'll come across it if you're a community member. And inside that app, where the NFTs are minted to community members can also share them with other community members if they think that those other community members contributed to a particular work stream. So they're called anti-rival NFTs, which is non-rival NFTs, which is a new concept. And I think we're going to write some content around that soon, or the Ataka team are. So they've got a slight twist. But just to reiterate, the real point of them, apart from looking nice, is to reward the most active community members with certain benefits. So over the coming years, we want to build out the Streamer ecosystem. People are aware there's innovations such as chat app coming through. Dare I say, there'll be other innovations as well. And the point of holding those NFTs is it gets you more exposure to those projects coming through. So more on that to follow in the coming months.
Yeah, fantastic. And just as a side comment, it does feel good to reward our community members as much as we can. It's something.
It's all about the community. That's why we're here, right?
We take pride in making sure our community is taken care of. And Fibonacci has a few more questions just on the hour. What's your focus in partnerships for 2023? Is it crypto or non-crypto? Certain industries you want to focus on?
So just to recap on what I was explaining earlier, definitely crypto and Web3 focused. So we're very sure that the right way to go forward, based on our experience, is to cement Streamer as a Web3 infrastructure protocol that it is, and to build partnerships with other Web3 protocols and dApps. And those other Web3 protocols and dApps are also infrastructure plays. So when we were in Colombia, there was a side event, which is a day-long event that Matthew actually presented at and hosted a panel alongside other projects such as LivePeer. And that session was called InfraCon, as in infrastructure conference. And we spent a lot of time with all of the sort of tier one, as I keep referring to them, tier one infrastructure projects. And we have a list of about 20 or 30 projects now that we're speaking with, building relationships with, and building products with. we're all in this together. They're not competitors. We have these conversations, and the conversation is exactly the same with all of them. How do we build a better internet? How do we build a better Web3 versus Web2? How do we decentralize it? How do we reward the stakeholders accordingly? And how do we build the best possible products? So I like to say that I'm involved in those conversations. I'm taking a lot of credit of Matthew's work and Henry's work. I'm just the marketing guy and do a bit of business.
Oh, no, you're helping a lot.
But you guys do the real hard graft. But yeah, definitely that is the core of what Streamr is and will become. And so that's where we're focusing at. And yeah, it's exciting. It's really exciting. We've had some amazing discussions in Colombia, and those discussions are ongoing. And we're speaking to the people that are really shaping the future of Web3, and all of those developers and thought leaders know about Streamr and want to build on Streamr. So yeah, it's exciting.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're up on the hour. Maybe this the very last question that we can squeeze in is any news on the chat app?
Yeah, great question. So I think we're all very excited about the chat app, not least myself. There's a working beta of it, and the developers working on it are working through a couple of technical challenges, which are not unsurmountable, but are taking a little bit of time. On the marketing side, we started to collect contact details of those that would like to be first beta testers. Definitely NFT holders within the community will be invited to become beta testers. So Bon Jovo, absolutely, and Fabinacci, no doubt. So yeah, so testing, I don't want to put time against it because it's not on my side, but I'm estimating now first testing will happen early next year. But yeah, I think we are all really excited about that because of the Streamr technology. It's one of the few decentralized chat apps that is actually decentralized, is my understanding. Matthew, correct me if I'm wrong, you know this space much better than myself, but that's why we're excited about it, because again, going back to the discussion we just had about Swash, which is a pure D2C play, chat app can be used in a kind of sort of partnership B2B type level, if that makes sense. So it could be wallet to wallet in between different projects, but also it could be positioned as a straight B2C play, which from my perspective makes it quite exciting from a marketing perspective, because we can explode the growth of that. But yeah, I've seen the beta, I've used it, it works. Yeah, very excited. So looking forward to bringing that to market. I think we'll start seeing the first versions of it early next year, I guess.
Amazing. Yeah. I echo those sentiments. No servers, chatting peer to peer. It's actually, a very novel and powerful innovation in the space. So really proudly standing behind that. Eagerly awaiting its launch. So Mark, thank you very much. We're out of time. It's been very informative for me, and I'm sure others. And do you have any last parting words?
No, just to say thanks for hosting it, Matthew. Thank you also to the community, as always, for your ongoing support. I hope you can see the progress that we're making on the marketing side. A lot of it's been behind the scenes, but we're going to start seeing the growth come. And I urge you just to get stuck into that Stream Team app, and obviously it's about referrals. So if you use it inherently, you're going to share it, but spread the word. It's going to take 6 to 8 weeks to get it going, based on my experience. But it's the first kind of tool or mechanical campaign which has the potential to step change Streamer community growth, and I believe it will. And the final point I'd like to make is, as I said earlier, for those that have been in the Streamer community a long time, just be aware that the nature of the community and the discussions in Discord will change as lots and lots of people come in. We always try and manage the Discord community as best as we can with the appropriate channels. But there's a limit to that. So the nature of the discussion in certain channels may become somewhat trivial based on your previous experience, where the conversations have always been very, very technical. but that's a good thing. If the mainstream crypto enthusiasts are coming into Streamr in their droves, in their tens of thousands, then I think we'll be in a much better place.
It's a happy problem. So maybe lastly, how do people get involved into the Stream team?
The URL is very simple. It's friends.streamr.network. Friends spelled in the crypto way, obviously, because we're all crypto degens. So it's FRENS.streamr.network. And if that doesn't work, head over to Twitter. Tom has posted out earlier with the link to there. And you'll see it in the link tree as well. If you go Twitter profile, link tree, it's inside there. And you'll see it on our other social media channels as well. So it should be fairly easy to find.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone. Bye now.
Bye. Bye-bye.